Here's the deal. Anytime I've bought a box or a bunch of boxes for this channel, a lot of the times I sell the vast majority of the cards. This is especially true in the case of the Savage Strike case, where I sold almost every single card I pulled outside of Pot of Extravagance. However, some people might not know this, but I did in fact keep track of a couple low rarity cards from that case, just in case I needed them down the line. Now, in some areas, I will actually use these cards for deck profiles, and other areas I might not end up using them, but these are things that I didn't want to have to hunt down because I knew that I'd be selling all of the cards from that case, all the commons, all the rares, so I wanted to keep track of some cards just in case. So for example, I kept track of all these aloof lupines for the most part, and my friend needed one just in case those were ever needed. They were also pretty short printed, so I thought I would keep track of those. I had about 15 of these Sunlight Wolves, and I've sold some of them. I'm using some of them right now, so that's something I wanted to keep. I kept track of every single Time Thief card. Is there 4 of that? No, every 3 copies of every single Time Thief. I don't think these cards are actually necessarily super good. I mean, Redo is like pretty good, but I thought maybe one day they would be like playable. I have Psychic Tracker just in case. I sort of kept these incantations because I thought that I might use them in like a Shinober deck profile. And then also I kept the Madolche new monster. This card's really good actually. Maybe something I do with the Madolche deck profile again. For those of you that haven't been following me very long, I love Madolches. It's one of my like oldest favorite decks, so I definitely wanted to keep those. And then I kept one Hyper Psychic Riser. I didn't think this card would be necessarily good, but I figured like just might as well, because once again I was trying to keep things that I thought maybe someday I would need. It's come up before with like Metaverse and stuff where like I sold all the cards and then I ended up needing Metaverses. Obviously there's like the FA Whipcrosser debacle, but anyway, those are the cards that I kept. However, I did not keep some cards that I ended up needing, so in today's video, unfortunately, we are opening a box of Savage Strike. I say unfortunately because I opened so many boxes of the set, and also the set is not very valuable. I mean, yes, there's Pot of Extravagance, and yes, there's Thanos Dragon. Other than that, though, not really a lot in here. Savage Strike Dragon's pretty good, or Borreload Savage Dragon, I should say. Overall, though, like, the only reason I'm buying this, just so you know what we're looking for, we are looking for the Salamangreat Fusion Spell card and the Salamangreat Fusion Monster card. These cards I did not realize were played in the Salamangreat deck. It looks like in the OCG, most people don't play them. However, in the TCG, because the card is basically a super poly in the mirror match, although not a quick play, but still very good when you go second at breaking boards. A lot of people played that in the ARG, and I kind of want to test Salamangreats at a couple tournaments this weekend. So I thought I would open this box because, you know, every time I do this, I mean, I'll start opening this now, but every time that I open a box on this channel and say it's because like I need to pull a specific card, I always get comments from people saying, but Doug, don't you know that you can just go online at tcgplayer.com and buy them for 12 cents? And I do know that. I'm actually fully aware of that. I usually buy singles for things. That's what I always tell you guys to do, and that's what I try to do as well, especially when I don't pull it out of boxes and stuff. But the reason that I have to buy these boxes, well, I say have to, but it's not really like a have to. But the reason that I usually buy boxes in cases like this, and the cases like FA Whipcrosser, and then the time that I bought like a whole display case of special editions just to pull one copy of Metaverse, it's all comes down to time. So in this case, I didn't know I was even going to play Sound. Well, I didn't even know I was going to go to a tournament this weekend, or 2 tournaments this weekend, until Tuesday, this past Tuesday. So that definitely is kind of short notice. The Update Jam is really cool. And then, I guess I don't actually care about separating these cards, but we'll just put those right there. So I didn't know I was going to go to tournaments this weekend until Tuesday. There's an OTS tournament where my friends live. He said that he had to work, so I wasn't going to drive down there. But then he said that he didn't have to work anymore, which is really cool. So, God, I hate this set so much. What a great secret rare. I'm so glad that they made that card a secret rare, not like a super rare or a common. Whatever, but it's okay. We're just looking for the rares. We're buying this with full knowledge that we'll probably not plus. We are just looking for the rares. So the reason I do this is because yeah, I didn't know there was going to be a tournament until Tuesday, and I didn't know I was going to go to it until like the day later. My friend said that he can now suddenly go, and then up until like Thursday, so yesterday when this video is uploaded, I didn't know I was going to play a deck other than Altergeist, but I tested like Salamangreats, and I thought, you know, I probably should just like play them at a tournament just to like get a feel for how good they are, or how bad they are. So I didn't know I was going to play Salamangreat. Nice, there we go. So that's one of the cards we need, Salamangreat Violet Chimera. The whole purpose for this card is you can summon it with Fusion of Fire using the Salamangreat Fusion card. which is really cool. So that's awesome. So we're trying to pull this card. I would ideally like to pull 2 copies of this as well as 2 copies of the Fusion because my friend needs it, but I don't think that's actually going to happen. Rares are like kind of hard to pull. They're actually a little bit harder to pull than super rares because even though you technically pull slightly more rares in a box, you actually, because there's so many more rares than there are super rares, you have a much harder time pulling individual rare cards. Even though you'll pull a greater number of rares total, you won't necessarily pull like individual copies of the cards. But anyway, yeah, so I wanted to play Salamangreats. I didn't know that people were playing the Violet Chimera and the Fusion of Fire and stuff. So now, because I only have like a day, because I'm actually leaving tonight to go to this tournament, I now have to struggle to get these cards. And for some of you, you might have a locals that has like the singles from the new set, and maybe they open some cases. And for those of you that have a situation, that is awesome. I really admire that. That is super lucky. For me personally, though, my locals, I mean, they sell singles, but they're usually like not super new. They're definitely not as new as like the newest set. You don't have people at my locals opening cases. They'll sell a lot of boxes, and sometimes people sell their bulk like back to them. But in terms of just like if I went up to them and said, can you give me a Salamangreat Violet Chimera, they're gonna look at me like, what are you even asking? Like, we don't even know what that is, because most of them don't play Yu-Gi-Oh! So in the cases like this, in the case like FA Whipcrosser, I do this. Nice, there we go. Yeah, Fusion of Fire. So Fusion summon 1 Salamangreat Fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand and or either field as Fusion material. You only activate this once per turn, and also it's treated as a Salamangreat card all the time. So the reason that this is good is because this Fusion takes 1 Salamangreat monster plus 1 Link monster. So Fusion of Fire going second against Salamangreats, if you bait their Roar negation, you can then Fusion their, they always have the Wolf up, and then you can just use whatever Salamangreat they have up. A lot of times they have the rank 3 up. You can use both of those because that's 1 Link monster, 1 Salamangreat monster to summon this. You break 2 of their cards for free, and then this thing has a really powerful effect where you can just like OTK your opponent. Sweet. Okay, I'm glad that now I don't have to, you know, I bought that box of whatever set. I think that was Circuit Break that Whipcrosser was in, and we only pulled like 1 Whipcrosser in the entire box. So I'm pretty happy that we pulled those so early on, so I don't have to worry about it. But I'd still like to pull a couple more copies so my friend can play that engine as well, which would be pretty cool. But yeah, so the problem is that because I have a tournament like today, basically when this video is going up, I have to get these cards like right now, and unfortunately, because my locals does not have them, and because people aren't really going. I mean, maybe if I was staying, if I wasn't going tonight, maybe I could like go to locals and pick these cards up from like the players there. But because I'm leaving like during this afternoon, pretty much right after this video goes up, actually, I will. I mean, I can't get the cards anywhere else, so like the only option left if I want to play these cards, which I feel is very important. Nice, got a $10 rare, worth like what, 10 times as much as the secret rare there, because Giant Launcher is like $1. Is it less than $1 right now? I know when I bought the case, this card was already at like $1.75, and that was the first day the set was legal, so that's not a good sign. So it's probably under $1 by now, to be completely honest. We'll have to see though. Let me pull them in. Those guard dragons, they sure got me at the YCS. But yeah, so the whole reason, I know I keep getting lost tracks, I'm opening the packs, I'm trying to keep track of that stuff, but the whole reason that I end up buying these boxes just to pull like certain cards like Fusion of Fire, like the Salamangreat Violet Chimera, is simply because I do not have enough time to order it online in advance, because I just didn't know I was playing this deck. If I was like going to a tournament in 3 weeks or 4 weeks, maybe in that case, actually almost certainly in that case, I would just go online and buy the cards off TCG Player. Shout out to my sponsor. But yeah, I would almost certainly just go online and buy those from them so that I could get it shipped in time. I'm only paying like 12 cents instead of $60 for the whole box, and that would be really cool. However, not the case, because I only have like 1 day to get the cards. So a lot of times people ask me, nice, Witch's Strike. Oh man, this set is maybe I'm just cynical because I've opened so many of these boxes, but yeah, trust me, I wasn't really like going out of my way to find a reason to open this particular set, unlike with things like Kaiba Collection, where I actually really enjoy opening that set because there's so many cool cards in it. Trust me, I was definitely looking for other ways to get these cards than just buying another box, but because the secret rares just make me sad, so it's what are you gonna do though? But yeah, so that's why I always buy cards like from sets like this, and I actually just go out and buy a box because yeah, it just doesn't take as much time. But if you're someone that's not a YouTuber, you're someone that doesn't necessarily have a tournament in like a month from now, or I mean, if you have a tournament a month from now instead of like that day, by all means, you definitely should just buy singles. So I get asked the question a lot, and I thought I would try to answer it in this video, even though it took me 10 minutes to do so, because I get distracted every single time I open a pack, because it's hard to look at the cards and also talk about things. Nice. That's actually one of the better, the second best ultra rare, I believe. Trickstar Korobane. Simo played this as a one of. A couple Trickstar players that were playing this deck as well. Played like 2 and even 3 copies of that card. That card's insane. And yeah, actually the second most valuable ultra rare. But yeah, at this point, I also kind of figured that there's no reason like not to upload a box opening if I'm gonna buy a box anyway. Helps offset a little bit of the costs for me, I guess, which is kind of cool because then it's content for you guys to watch. I think it's kind of a neat thing that you can do when you're a YouTuber. So I like to take advantage of that. I know it's been a while since I have opened box openings, but I don't know. We opened that one. I don't know. It's kind of weird because we opened like 1 box of Savage, or 2 boxes of Savage Strike. Just one video though. And then I was planning on opening 2 more in like a video like this where I was talking, but I kind of ran out of time, so I just sort of threw that together in the big case opening video, which it made sense because the case opening, I need a little bit more like B-roll footage anyway, so the time lapse of opening those 2 boxes was pretty good. And also some people didn't notice. Some people, a couple people noticed, but most people didn't notice that in the 2 boxes that I opened, well, the last after that case video. So I posted like the first video where I opened 2 boxes, and that was like this, where I'm talking to you guys, and then I posted the case video, which was the first 8 boxes that you guys didn't see yet, and then the last 2 boxes, and I'd only pulled out of one of the boxes 1 secret rare, and that 1 secret rare was the TG Trident guy. So there was 1 box in there that I made like probably $3 on, and I spent $60 on it. I wish I could. The only reason I feel bad, oh, this card's really good too. The only reason that I feel bad that I didn't upload that like double box opening as like a more traditional box opening video like this one is because like my reaction to opening just only 1 secret rare and it being TG Trident launcher was just like insane. Like you can go back and like watch that video and like skip to the end and see where I opened those 2 boxes, because there's like a solid, on the time lapse I think it's only like 30 seconds, but there's like a solid I guess it's like what, 2 minutes that I spent just like going through every single card. Oh nice, Borlet Savage Dragon, best ultra rare that you can possibly pull. There's like a solid 2 minutes where I'm just like going through like every single common card by card just to like double check that I didn't miss a secret rare. And yeah, I was very disappointed. I may have said some bad words when I found out that the only secret rare I pulled out of that entire box was a $1 TG Trident launcher. But anyway, that's pretty much gonna wrap up today's video. Yeah, you guys can kind of see what I mean though. We only pulled out of that, oh, that's not a, I think I got my piles mixed up. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We pulled the rares. But you can tell here, so out of that entire box, and the reason that I was saying like it's hard to pull rares, we only pulled 1 copy of all of these. And these cards aren't necessarily short printed. It's just there's so many rares up there. I don't know how many. I think there's like 20, or there's 18 rares, I believe. So there's so many of them, and you only have the 24 packs. So if there's 18 rares and 24 packs, I'm pretty sure that's the right numbers. You have the situation where like you will very rarely pull duplicates of all of them. You only pull like duplicates of a couple of them. So in this case we got a little bit unlucky, but I'm perfectly fine. I just want to make sure I pulled these cards, but unfortunately for my friend, now he doesn't have copies either, because I don't think I pulled an extra copy of either of these cards. But yeah, we bought the box to pull these cards. We pulled these cards, so I couldn't be happier, and I'll see you guys later. Don't buy Savage Strike. Goodbye.